My daughter will move in with her real father, and you will keep supporting her real family financially, my wife said casually. Even after I raised her for 18 years, paid for everything, and now I'm just the ATM they forgot to cancel. I paid for everything. The college, the car, the health insurance, the orthodontics, the summer camps. Then, one Thursday, during a chicken dinner, my wife casually mentioned that my stepdaughter was moving in with her biological father. But you will keep paying, right? That is when I got up, packed a single bag, and left. What happened next? Let us just say karma works in mysterious ways when you stop being someone's ATM. My name is Black Emmy. I am 47 years old, and I have spent the last 18 years as a systems engineer for a medium-sized tech company in Denver. A steady job, a decent salary, the kind of stability that lets you sleep at night, or at least it used to. The bomb dropped on a Thursday. It was not a special day, just another evening after a long shift troubleshooting server failures and dealing with password resets. I got home and smelled roasted chicken, which should have been my second warning. Lauren only cooked real meals when she wanted something. We sat at the dining table, the same oak table I had assembled myself 5 years ago. Tyler was upstairs, probably scrolling through social media or texting Cry, although I did not know that part yet. Lauren cut her chicken with surgical precision, not making eye contact. Tyler is moving out, she said as if she were commenting on the weather. I looked up from my plate. Okay, she is getting her own place near campus. No. Lauren put down her knife and finally looked me in the eyes. She is going to live with her biological father. The words hung in the air between us. I felt my jaw tighten, but I kept chewing slowly and mechanically. My brain was doing that thing where it lags behind reality, trying to process information that does not make sense. 18 years. 18 years of parent-teacher conferences, emergency room visits for sports injuries, college application essays I helped edit at midnight. 18 years of being dad to everyone except on legal documents. When I asked in a flat voice, at the end of the month, Cry has a bigger place now in Phoenix. They have been talking, and she thinks it is time to reconnect with her real family. Real family. Those two words hit differently. And you are okay with that? I asked. Lauren shrugged. She is an adult now, Black. It is her choice. Besides, she added, reaching for her wine glass, you will still help with tuition and expenses, right? For continuity. There it was, the real agenda. I was not her father. I was her ATM, a subscription service they forgot to cancel. I said nothing, just nodded once, finished my chicken, and cleared my plate. I did not sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling, listening to Lauren's breathing beside me, and made a decision that would change everything. Friday morning arrived with a fog covering Denver, as if the city itself was hiding something. I woke up at 5, as usual, but instead of going to the office I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop and a cup of coffee that tasted metallic. Lauren was still sleeping upstairs. Tyler had left early for some study group that probably did not exist. I opened my browser and started the kind of work I was really good at, systems administration. Except this time I was not fixing servers. I was dismantling my own life, one access point at a time. First stop, the university portal. I had set up the automatic payment system 3 years ago when Taylor started at Colorado State University. My visa, ending in 3847, was listed as the primary funding source. I stared at that number for a full minute, thinking about all the times I had received fraud alerts and assumed it was identity theft, not the tuition of a girl who was about to call another man dad. I clicked Remove Payment Method. The system asked me to confirm. I confirmed. No email notification, no "Are you sure" pop-up. It just disappeared as if it had never been there. Next was the health insurance. I logged into my company's HR portal and opened the family plan. Taylor's name was there, under dependents. Date of birth, April 15th, 2003. I remember that day. Well, not her birth. I was not there for that, but the day Lauren asked me to add her to my insurance. Taylor was 7. She had just fallen off her bike and needed stitches. No insurance, no money, no options. Just temporarily, Lauren had said, until I get back on my feet. 18 years later, she was still on my plan. I selected Remove Dependent and typed a reason, no longer eligible. The system processed the request for about 10 seconds and then confirmed the change. Effective immediately. The 529 college fund took longer. I had opened it when Taylor was 13, thinking maybe I should start planning ahead like a real dad. I deposited $200 a month for 9 years. The balance was $21,468. Not enough to change anyone's life, but enough to matter. I could not just withdraw it without penalties, but I could change the beneficiary. The form asked me who I wanted to transfer the funds to. I sat there with the cursor blinking and then typed a name I had not thought about in years. My son from my first marriage, Cameron. He was 25 now and worked in construction in Boise. He probably did not even remember I existed after his mother took them away when he was 8. But he was my real son, my blood. And if anyone deserved that money, it was him. I submitted the form. The system sent a confirmation email to my personal address, the one Lauren did not know. By the time the sun had fully risen over the Rockies, I had already canceled the family Spotify account, removed Taylor from my Amazon Prime, and deleted her access to the shared Netflix profile. Small things they would not notice right away, things that would just stop working one day, like a subscription they forgot to renew. I closed the laptop and went upstairs to pack my bag lightly, a duffel bag of the kind I use for weekend work trips when the servers go down in other offices. 3 pairs of jeans, 5 shirts, toiletries, my laptop, and the external hard drive with 18 years of family photos that I had been stupid enough to organize and back up. Lauren was in the shower when I left. I could hear the water running, hear her humming a pop song that Taylor liked. The sound made my stomach turn, but not with sadness, with anger, a pure, clean anger at how easy all of this was for her. I left my wedding ring on the kitchen counter next to the coffee maker. I did not write a note. What was there to say? She had made the terms clear enough at dinner. I was the bank, not the family. The drive to my brother's house in Colorado Springs took 90 minutes. Derek had always been the unpredictable one in our family. The one who never settled down, never bought into the marriage and mortgage dream. At that moment, I envied him. "You look terrible," Derek said when he opened the door. He was holding a beer, even though it was barely 9 in the morning. "I need a place to stay for a few days, maybe a week." He stepped aside without asking any questions. That was the good thing about Derek. He had been through 2 ugly breakups himself. He knew when a man needs space and silence more than advice. I put my laptop on his kitchen table and got back to work. There were still loose ends to tie up. The supermarket loyalty card seemed petty, but I deleted it anyway. That card was linked to my phone number. It gave us discounts on everything from milk to paper towels. Let them pay full price for a while. The lease on Taylor's Subaru was more complicated. I had been the co-signer, which meant I could not just cancel it without destroying my credit, but I could stop making the payments. The leasing company would repossess the car after 90 days of non-payment, and the hit to my credit score would be minimal since I was only the co-signer. I set a reminder on my phone to have the automatic lease payment effective immediately. Then I opened my email and found a message I had been waiting for. The confirmation that Cameron, my son, was now the beneficiary of the 529 fund. $21,000 he did not even know existed yet. Maybe I would tell him one day. Maybe not. Either way, it was not going to be for Taylor. My phone vibrated. "Lauren." I silenced it and put the phone face down on the table. Derek came into the kitchen with 2 beers and slid one to me. "Are you going to tell me what happened?" "Tyler is moving in with her biological father. Lauren expects me to keep paying for everything." Derek took a long swig and nodded slowly. "And you did not say anything?" "I just left." He raised his beer. Sometimes that is the best answer. We drank in silence, and for the first time in 18 years I felt like I could breathe. The call started on Monday morning. I was at Derek's place working remotely when my phone lit up with Lauren's name. I let it go to voicemail. Then another call, and another. By noon she had called 7 times. I finally listened to the first voicemail around 1. Her voice was tense, controlled. The tone she used when she was trying not to sound panicked. "Black, where are you? You did not come home. Your office says you are working remotely this week. Call me back. We need to talk about this like adults." Adults. What irony coming from someone who had decided my entire role in her life without asking my opinion. The second message left an hour later had a different energy. "Black, seriously, this is not funny anymore. Tyler is asking where you are. Just call me." I deleted it and went back to work. On Wednesday afternoon, everything changed. I was in the middle of a video conference when my phone started buzzing nonstop. Lauren's name flashed over and over. Then Taylor's number, and then Lauren again. By the time the conference ended, I had 12 missed calls and 3 voicemails. I played the last one. Lauren's voice came through the speaker. No longer controlled, no longer calm. She was screaming. Black, what have you done? The dean's office just called. They said Taylor's financial aid has been revoked. Her whole package is gone. The tuition payment bounced, and now they are saying she might lose her housing. What have you done? I put the phone down carefully. I took a deep breath. Derek was in the doorway with his eyebrows raised. That is your wife? Ex-wife? Technically, we just have not made it official yet. The phone rang again. This time I answered, put it on speaker. Blog, finally. Listen, has there been some kind of mistake with the university? There is no mistake, I said quietly. Silence on the other end. Then, what are you talking about? I removed my payment information from the system. I am not Taylor's father. You made that clear, so I am not her financial support either. You cannot be serious, Black. She will lose her spot. They are already talking about putting her on academic suspension until the bill is paid. That sounds like a problem for her father. Her real father. Sig, right? The one she is going to live with. Cry does not have that kind of money. You know that. Then, I guess she should have thought about that before deciding I was not her family. Lauren's voice changed. It went from panic to venom in half a second. You are being vengeful. This is cruel. No, Lauren. Cruel is raising someone for 18 years and being told you are replaceable. Cruel is expecting me to finance a life where I am not welcome. I am just being practical. Black, please. I hung up, blocked the number, and then blocked Taylor's number just in case. Derek whistled under his breath. Cold as ice, brother. I did not say looking at the phone. Just tired of being warm to people who treat me like an ATM. On Monday morning, I walked into the offices of Patterson & Klein, a law firm downtown that specialized in what their website euphemistically called complex family transitions. Translation: they handled divorces where people played dirty. The receptionist was younger than Taylor. She was wearing headphones and typing at a speed that made me think she had been raised by computers. Mr. Mishi, Mr. Patterson will see you now. Robert Patterson looked like the kind of man who played golf with judges and had senators on speed dial. Silver hair, tailored suit, an office with a view of the mountains. He shook my hand with the strength of someone who has crushed better men than me in negotiations. So, he said, settling into his leather chair, your wife expects you to continue financing your stepdaughter's education after said stepdaughter decided to move in with her biological father. That is the short version. And you have already withdrawn financial support. Everything: tuition, health insurance, car lease payments, everything. Patterson smiled. Not a warm smile, a predator's smile. Good. You have established clear boundaries. Now let us make sure they stay established. You mentioned on the phone that the house is solely in your name. Refinanced 4 years ago, Lauren signed over ownership to improve the loan terms. She received independent legal advice before signing. I shook my head. I do not think so. I told her it was for tax purposes. Even better, Patterson opened a folder and slid a document across the desk. This is a petition for legal separation with intent to divorce. It protects your assets immediately and establishes that you have no financial obligation to her or her daughter. We will also include a clause demanding reimbursement for expenses you covered during the marriage that exceeded your fair share. We can do that. We can ask for anything. Whether we get it is another question, but it puts her on the defensive immediately. He leaned forward. Mr. Michi, I need to know something. How far are you willing to take this? I thought about 18 years. Every soccer game, every school play, every midnight trip to the emergency room. Being called by name only when Cry's name came up. That dinner table conversation where I became a subscription service to wherever is necessary. Patterson nodded. Then, let us talk about the discovery process. I want financial records for the last 5 years. Every purchase she made, every expense she claimed was for the household, but was actually for herself. We are going to build a case that you were financially exploited. For the next hour, he walked me through the strategy. Freeze joint accounts. Document every text and voicemail. File for a restraining order if she showed up at Derek's house. Prepare for her to fight back hard. One more thing, Patterson said as I got up to leave. Your stepdaughter's biological father, this Cry Walls. Do we know anything about him? Not much. He is in Phoenix. He has not paid child support consistently. Find out if he has any outstanding obligations or a criminal record. That information could be useful. It shows a pattern of irresponsibility. It makes your position stronger. I left the office with a folder full of documents to sign and a court date set for 3 weeks from now. On the way to my truck, my phone vibrated. An email from the Colorado State University Student Accounts Department. Dear Mr. Mishi, we have received your request to withdraw authorization as a financial sponsor for Ms. Tyler Chun. This change has been processed. Please note that Ms. Chun's account now shows an outstanding balance of $14,230 for the current semester. Taylor's mother's maiden name was Chun. She kept it when she married me. Tyler used it too, although I offered to let her take my last name when she turned 18. I forwarded the email to Patterson with a one-line message documentation of withdrawal of support. Then I went back to Derek's, opened a beer, and waited for the next explosion. It started with a text from my friend Carlos, a guy I had worked with for 5 years before he moved to Austin for a better job. Dude, this is about you. He attached a screenshot of a Reddit post from some college drama forum. The title made my stomach churn. Girl ditches stepdad for bio dad. Now she is broke and crying. Karma at its finest. I opened the link and started reading. The post was anonymous, but the details were too specific to be a coincidence. There is this girl at my college who has always been a bit entitled. You know, designer bags, new car every couple of years, study abroad trips, the whole package. She always talked about how her stepdad was okay, but not her real dad. How she was planning to reconnect with her bio dad, who is apparently a big shot now. Well, guess what? She moved in with the bio dad last month. Big Instagram post about finding her real family and new beginnings with a picture of them holding keys to their house. Everyone was like, okay, good for you. Fast forward to last week. Her car got repossessed right out of the student parking lot. Then her housing portal got locked because her tuition payment bounced. Then she found out her health insurance was canceled. Apparently the stepdad was paying for everything, and when she left, he just stopped. Completely disappeared. Not answering calls, not answering emails, just vanished. Now she is crying in the student center about how unfair it all is. Her mom is driving the financial aid office crazy. Turns out the bio dad is broke as a joke. He cannot help with any of it. And the stepdad, cold as ice, totally done. The comments are saying he is being cruel. But honestly, 18 years of raising someone, paying for everything just to be dropped the second the bio dad shows up. I would probably do the same thing. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The post had 3,000 upvotes and over 600 comments. I scrolled through them, watching strangers dissect my life like it was a true crime podcast. Ta, you are not the asshole. The stepdad is a legend. She messed around and found out. Imagine calling someone, not my real dad, while cashing his checks. The audacity. The bio dad probably came back into her life because he wanted something. Typical deadbeat dad move. Some comments defended Taylor. They called me vengeful. They said I was punishing a girl for wanting to know her biological father. Those were downvoted into oblivion. Someone had found Taylor's Instagram. It was not hard given the description in the post. They had posted screenshots in the comments, including the one of her and Cry holding the key. New beginnings, the caption said with a heart emoji. The comments on that screenshot were brutal. How is that working out for you? Hope the key opens a job application. Maybe Cry can pay your tuition with exposure. Derek walked in, saw me staring at the phone. What is wrong? You look like you have seen a ghost. My life just became a Reddit post. He read over my shoulder and whistled. That is rough. Do you think Tyler knows? If she does not, she will soon. This is going viral. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You are a coward and everyone knows it. You ruined her life because your ego could not handle the truth. I blocked it. Another message came in from a different number. I hope you are proud of yourself. She is going to drop out because of you. Then another. You are pathetic. I turned off the phone and threw it on the couch. Derek looked at me, concerned. Are you okay? Yeah, I said, surprised to realize it was true. I am fine. They can say whatever they want. I know what I did and why I did it. And if the internet wants to weigh in, let them. Derek raised his beer for knowing when to leave. I clinked my bottle against his for knowing when you are done being used. The call came at 2 in the morning, 3 weeks after the Reddit post went viral. I was at Derek's place, sound asleep, when my phone started vibrating on the nightstand. Unknown number. I almost did not answer. Hello, Mr. Mishi. A professional but tired woman's voice. This is Denver General Hospital. We have Tyler Chun in our emergency room. You are listed as her emergency contact. I sat up, wide awake. What happened? She came in with severe respiratory distress. An asthma attack. She is stable now, but we need to discuss her treatment and insurance information. My mind flashed back to Taylor at 14. Her first major asthma attack during a camping trip. I had driven 90 miles an hour to the nearest hospital while she used her inhaler every 5 minutes, her breathing shallow and panicked. I had sat in that waiting room for 6 hours until the doctors said she was out of danger. What is her condition? I asked. Stable, but she needs a prescription for a stronger inhaler and a follow-up with a pulmonologist. The problem is her insurance was denied. The account shows she is no longer covered under your policy. That is correct. I removed her 6 weeks ago. Silence on the other end. I see. Well, without insurance, the ER visit alone is about $4,000. The prescription and follow-up will be additional. And you are calling me? Why? Because you are her emergency contact, and she has no one else to call. Her mother's number went straight to voicemail. We tried to contact her biological father in Phoenix, but got no answer. I closed my eyes, thinking, for $1,000. Plus medication, plus follow-up appointments. All because she decided Craig was her real dad. Mr. Mishi, are you still there? I am here. What happens if the bill does not get paid? The hospital will set up a payment plan with her directly. We can also refer her to financial assistance programs and community health clinics for ongoing care. Then do that. She is 22. She is responsible for her own medical bills. Another pause. Sir, she is asking to speak with you. Tell her I am not available. Mr. Mishi, she is very upset, and I am not her father. She made that clear. Refer her to financial assistance, and have a good night. I hung up before the nurse could respond. My hands were shaking, not from anger, but from the sheer effort it took to say no. Every instinct I had was screaming at me to drive to that hospital, to pay the bill, to sit with her until she was discharged. But that instinct was drilled into me over 18 years of being a dad. It was not real. It was just a habit I needed to break. Derek appeared in the doorway, sleepy. Who was at the hospital? Taylor had an asthma attack. She is fine, stable. They wanted me to pay for it. Derek nodded slowly. What did you tell them? I told them she is an adult, and it is not my responsibility. Derek studied my face. Are you okay? I thought about that question. Was I okay? I did not feel like a man who had just refused to save a drowning person, but I also knew that if I jumped in now I would drown too, pulled under by people who only needed me when it was convenient. Yeah, I said finally. I am fine, but I did not sleep the rest of the night. A week after the hospital incident, I got a call from someone I had not heard from in 5 years. Sarah Winters, my former colleague from my old job at a tech startup in Boulder. We had worked together for 3 years. We built the company's entire IT infrastructure from the ground up and then went our separate ways when the startup was acquired. Blackamy, she said when I answered, I hear through the grapevine that you are single now. I laughed despite myself. News travels fast. It is a small industry. Look, I am calling because I have a proposal for you. I started my own cybersecurity consulting firm 2 years ago. We are growing fast, taking on corporate clients, and I need someone who knows system architecture inside and out. Are you interested? I still have a job for now, but unless I am misreading the situation, you are probably planning an exit from Denver very soon. She was not wrong. Working remotely from Derek's was getting old, and I knew I would eventually have to face going back to the office or relocating entirely. What kind of position? I asked. Partner, 40% equity. Equal say in business decisions. Salary of $140,000 plus profit sharing. We are based in Seattle, but most of our work is remote anyway. You could work from anywhere. I sat up straighter. 40% equity. You are worth it. I have seen your work. Plus, I need someone I trust who will not screw me over. That is worth more than money. When would you need an answer? As soon as possible. I have 3 other candidates, but you are my first choice. We talked for another 30 minutes about the company, the clients, the vision. When I hung up, I realized Sarah had just offered me an escape route that did not involve running away. It involved running towards something better. I called Patterson, my lawyer, that afternoon. How fast can we finalize this divorce? Depends on how hard she fights. If she contests the division of assets, it could take 6 months. If she signs everything, 30 days. Make her an offer she cannot refuse. I will give her $25,000 in cash as a settlement. She walks away. No fights, no claims on the house or anything else. That is generous, considering she has no legal basis to claim anything. It is not generosity, it is speed. I want this done fast. Patterson said he would draw up the papers. I hung up and started packing my things for real this time. Not just for a few weeks, but for good. That night, my phone buzzed with an email notification. It was from Taylor. Subject: please read. I almost deleted it. Almost. But something made me open it. Black, I know you do not want to hear from me. I know I screwed up. The hospital bill went to a collection agency, and I cannot pay it. I tried to contact Cry, but he is not answering. He has not answered in 2 weeks. I think he blocked me. I do not know what I did wrong, but he just disappeared. Mom is not helping me because she is broke too. She had to move in with Aunt Monica because you got the house. I will probably have to drop out of college. I cannot afford anything anymore. I just wanted you to know that I am sorry. I am sorry I did not appreciate you. I am sorry I called Sig my real dad. I am sorry for everything. I do not expect you to forgive me or help me. I just wanted you to know. I read it twice. Then I closed the laptop and went out into the Colorado night, where the mountains loomed dark against a purple sky, and I felt absolutely nothing. Moving to Seattle was like stepping into a different version of my life, one where I was not defined by what I had lost, but by what I was building. Sarah's company operated out of a sleek office near Pike Place Market, all glass walls and standing desks. My first week, I closed 2 major contracts with tech companies looking to upgrade their security infrastructure. The money was good, the work was challenging, and for the first time in years I felt like I was moving forward instead of just treading water. But the real change came on a Saturday morning, 3 weeks after I arrived. I was at a coffee shop near my new apartment working on some client proposals when my phone rang. Unknown number with a 208 area code. Boise. Hello, is this Blackamy? A young man's voice, uncertain. Yes, this is he. This is Cameron. Cameron Mishi, your son. I almost dropped the phone. Cameron. 25 now. I had not seen him since he was 8, when his mother, Jennifer, took them to Boise after our divorce and slowly pushed me out of his life. I paid child support religiously for 10 years. I sent birthday cards that went unanswered. I made calls that were never returned. Eventually, I stopped trying. It hurt too much to keep reaching for someone who was not reaching back. Cameron, I said, my voice hoarse. How did you find me? The 529 fund transfer. I got a notification last week that I was now the beneficiary of an education account worth $21,000. I did not understand why. So I called the financial institution and they gave me your contact information. Dad, what is going on? So I told him everything about Lauren, about Tyler, about the 18 years I spent being a dad to someone who decided I was not her real dad. About the dinner conversation that ended everything, the quiet exit, the financial cutoff, and the decision to transfer Taylor's college fund to him. Cameron listened without interrupting. When I was finished, there was a long silence. So you gave me the money that was for your stepdaughter, he said finally. You are my son, my real son. If anyone deserves it, it is you. I do not need college money, Dad. I am doing okay. I run my own construction crew now. I make good money. He paused, and I could hear something in his voice I did not expect. Emotion. I would like to see you. If that is okay. I would like to meet my real dad. This time we met 2 weeks later at a diner in Coeur d'Alene, halfway between Seattle and Boise. I got there early, sat in my truck in the parking lot with my hands shaking like a teenager on a first date. This was my son, my flesh and blood, and I had missed 17 years of his life. Cameron walked in looking like a younger, rougher version of me. Same build, same jawline, same way of moving like he was always ready for the next challenge. He spotted me immediately and walked over with a confidence I envied. You look good, he said, shaking my hand. His grip was strong, calloused from years of construction work. You too. I am sorry I was not around more when you were growing up. Mom did not make it easy. I get that now. I am not a kid anymore, and I have seen enough of the world to know that relationships are complicated. He sat down and looked me straight in the eye. But I want to know you now. Not just Christmas cards and phone calls. I want a real relationship with my dad. We talked for 4 hours about his construction business, about my new partnership with Sarah, about his girlfriend Maya, who was 6 months pregnant with their first child. My first grandchild, a girl they were planning to name Emma. You have a chance to be a grandpa, Cameron said as we finished dessert. If you want it, I know I cannot give you back the years we lost, but we can start from here. I want it, I said, and my voice came out rougher than I intended. I want all of it. Cameron smiled, and it was like looking at myself 20 years ago. Good, because Emma is going to need a grandpa who is present. I drove back to Seattle that night, feeling lighter than I had in months, maybe years. For the first time since that dinner conversation with Lauren, I felt like I had a family again, a real one. Not one built on obligation, checks, and usefulness, but one built on blood, choice, and second chances. 8 months after moving to Seattle, I was in the TSA pre-check line at SeaTac Airport on my way to a cybersecurity conference in San Francisco. Life had become good, really good. My partnership with Sarah had exceeded every expectation we had set. We tripled our client base, hired 12 new employees, and I had just received my first profit-sharing check for $35,000. Cameron and I talked every week, and I had flown to Boise twice to visit him, Maya, and little Emma, who had her grandfather's eyes and her father's smile. I was checking my boarding pass on my phone when I saw her. Taylor. She was about 20 yards away at a coffee kiosk near the security checkpoint, and at first I was not sure it was really her. She looked different, thinner, older. Her hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and she was wearing a pale blue uniform like the kind medical assistants or nursing students wear. She was at the register, counting change from her pocket to pay for a small coffee. Quarters, dimes, nickels, counting them twice to make sure she had enough. The barista looked impatient. There was a line forming behind her. Our eyes met across the terminal. The recognition crossed her face immediately, followed by something else. Shame perhaps, or regret. Her mouth opened slightly, as if she was going to call out to me, or wave, or do something to bridge the 20 yards and 8 months that separated us. I looked away, picked up my carry-on, moved forward in the security line, did not look back. Behind me, I heard nothing. No footsteps running to catch up, no voice calling my name. Just the ambient noise of the airport. Thousands of people moving through their lives, most of them strangers to each other. I got through security, put my laptop and shoes back on, and walked to my gate without a single glance over my shoulder. As I sat down in the waiting area, my phone buzzed with a text from Cameron. Maya went into labor this morning. Baby is coming early. Can you come? I opened the airline app and rebooked my flight. San Francisco could wait. My granddaughter could not. 20 minutes later, I was boarding a different plane, bound for Boise. As the plane pushed back from the gate, I looked out the window at the terminal one last time. Somewhere in that building, Taylor was probably still counting change for a coffee, wondering what her life had become, wondering how she had gone from a college student with a bright future to a medical assistant struggling to afford the basics. But that was not my problem anymore. My problem was getting to Boise in time to meet Emma, to be there for Cameron, to be the grandfather and the father I had never had the chance to be before. Some bridges you burn intentionally. Others you just stop maintaining until they collapse under their own weight. Either way, I was done looking back. I had a family waiting for me, a real one. This time the plane took off and Seattle disappeared under the clouds.